Hi, my name is Cassie Bowman, and I am doing an oral presentation on Ivan Pavlov. I'm going to cover Pavlov's life, his research as a physiologist, and his discoveries of classical conditioning. Pavlov was born in Ryazan, Moscow in 1849. He was born into a family of priests and studied to be a priest himself. However, in his 20s, he decided to study natural science instead and later became a physiologist. His first several years as a physiologist was spent studying the digestive system. He didn't care much for publicizing his research. Much of his studies we have available today is from what his students have published from his teachings. Instead, his passion and focus was spent on his laboratory doing hands-on research. He expected his assistants to be as punctual and devoted to the lab as he was. He died in St. Petersburg, Russia on February 27, 1936, at the age of 86. Pavlov spent his first several years as a physiologist studying the digestive system. His inspiration to study how gastric fluids varied due to different stimuli came from an acquaintance that had survived a stomach injury. Pavlov was the first to study the digestive system from live subjects, which were mainly dogs. Due to his discoveries, he won the Nobel Prize in 1904. And during his Nobel speech, he presented another infamous discovery he had made that would greatly influence psychology as we know it. This accidental discovery was called classical conditioning and was discovered during his research of using dogs to better understand the digestive system. In order to increase a dog's saliva, he would put meat powder in a dog's mouth. After some time of doing the same routine, Pavlov realized that the dogs would start to salivatate even before the meat powder was applied. He noticed that the dogs would start to salivatate when they would hear footsteps of the experimenters or see them. He coined the following terms: unconditioned stimulus to represent the meat powder, unconditioned response to represent the dog's saliva, a neutral stimulus, for example, the visual appearance or the footsteps of the experimenter, that later could also become the conditioned response stimulus, and the conditioned response to represent the dog's saliva. We can see the effects classical conditioning has on our lives every day in so many ways. A quick example would be advertising. Let's take Domino's Pizza, for example. The unconditional stimulus is the smell of pizza. The conditioned response is the grumbling of the stomach and feeling hungry. The neutral stimulus would be watching a commercial featuring pizza from Domino's and hearing the doorbell at the end of this advertisement. After watching the ad enough times, you might start to associate the doorbell with Domino's Pizza, which would become the conditioned stimulus. The grumbling of a hungry stomach would be the conditioned response. This would mean that at some point after watching the ad enough times, you don't need to smell the pizza to start craving it. Just hearing the doorbell, you automatically think, I'm so hungry, without even realizing why you're thinking that. The next thing you know, you're thinking, I'm wanting a pizza from Domino's. That's what I'm going to have for dinner tonight. And if you'd like, you can click on the link that I provided below to listen to a Domino's Pizza ad. In this presentation, I covered some highlights about Ivan Pavlov's life, his research, and most importantly, his greatest contribution to psychology that has influenced it as we know it today. I hope you learned something new. Thank you for watching and have a great day.